be. So, I told somebody, you got Russell sitting there, you get beat by the number 4 team in 5A, and you feel like a big loser. I think I don't think our fans and players and everybody involved gave Russell as much credit as they deserve. Russell's got a tremendous football team, and they'll get better as the year goes. But I can't worry about Russell. I got to worry about Deshler right now.
And we've got Central to worry about as well. Friday night, just a couple hours away, the Wildcats roll into Howard Chapel in the Region 8 opener.
That's exactly right. And they've got a talented football team. They got some young kids playing. They've also got a young staff. Got a new head coach. And they got beat last week by a Haleyville team that when you watch the film, it was kind of back and forth, and then a couple of plays, Haleyville pulled it out. So, you got a young Central team that's got some talent. They got some speed. They got a couple of running backs that beat our running backs in track season last year. So they definitely got speed. And when you watch them play, they're not very complex. They're very simple, and they try and do what they do and do it right.
Collision Center, Dr. Carmichael, Tuscummy Eye Center, Hair Jungle, the Wisdom Family, Cantina, Tuscummy Utilities, our local union, LBEW, Coldwater Cafe, Dr. Cozart. Glad he's decided to join us. He's a great MD over in the...
Monday through Fridays, at regular office hours at 383-0321. After hours, weekends, holidays at Tuscummy Police Department at 383-3121. While we're working to restore power, keep flashlights and battery-powered radios handy. Keep refrigerators and freezer doors closed. I'm Roderick Metcalf from Tuscummy Utilities. And remember, Tuscummy Utilities is there for you.
Hey guys, what do Tigers love?
Tigers love tradition.
The Tigers have been to the playoffs over 30 times and won 4 state championships. What else?
Tigers love hard work.
From the classroom to the weight room, the Tigers do what it takes to be the best.
But most of all,
Tigers love Friday nights.
Be sure to tune in to my dad, Dr. Jimmy Gardner, for Tiger football on the Big Dog.
Go Tigers!
Let's get back to the game. It's Deshler Tiger football on Rock 105.5, the Big Dog.
Gentlemen, this is good luck. Mr. Evans. Good luck to you guys. Okay, y'all be leaders out there tonight, okay? Listen to us. We'll talk to you early, all right? That's the way we're going to work it tonight. Sportsmanship all night long, okay? Good deal. All right, you're the visiting team. What's your call going to be? He calls heads. If I drop it, I'm going to flip it again, okay? He calls heads. It's tail. See that? See that? You won the toss. What do you want to do? You want the ball? Which goal you want to defend?
The Deshler Tigers win the toss, and we will get the ball to begin the game. And also want to point out North Alabama Bone and Joint, of course, our good friend Tammy Highfield, administrator over there, and see all the good doctors. They also, of course, sponsor a big Saturday morning get-together for all the injured folks in the area. Nichols and Dr. Paul Davis. Want to remind everyone there will be a debutante car wash at Hardee's on Avalon tomorrow from 7 to 2 taking donations. So a debutante car wash at Hardee's on Avalon from 7 to 2. And here come the Deshler Tigers. Good spirit line down there and a decent crowd. Still need to fill up a few more seats to have what we would call a good crowd here. But after the spirit line gets back and files in and the folks away, they're packed in there tight into some beautiful bleachers in the stadium with the help of a lot of hard work from a bunch of Deshler boosters. Is in great shape as we begin the 2008 season at home. Pre-game show, he talks a lot about blocking, tackling, execution, and discipline. Those are things we need to get going tonight. We need to start off good and see if we can get a good return from Dion or DJ Box here. And then the up man, Ryan Goodlow, DeAnthony Summerhill, and then Coleman Miller and Jay Gardner stand at about the 30-yard line. Box and Goodlow at about the 22, and then very deep Summerhill and Goodlow, and then Box and Ballou at about the 10-yard line. And here comes the approach, and low bouncing kick fielded by the up man, Ryan Goodlow at the 25-yard line. He breaks the tackle and out to the 44-yard line. Is good, tough running by the junior, Ryan Goodlow. He's 5'11", 180, and a good return, and Deshler is in good field position. And let's see who will make their way onto the field offensively for the Tigers. It is Brandon Welch at the guard. Scott King, your center. Randy Foster, a weak tackle. Blake Barber at the strong tackle. Chris Holland in there. And it is J.R. White getting the nod at fullback, and Summerhill at tailback, Kenyatta Abernathy at the wingback. So Deshler beginning in a power package here behind quarterback Chase Blackburn. 1st and 10 at the 44-yard line. Give to White over the right side. He's got about 5 yards in the inside Central territory. Give him about 6 on the carry, so a good first down carry by the sophomore J.R. White, and it's 2nd down and 4 now for the Deshler Tigers.
Jimmy, as you said, we started with 2 tight ends and a power package, so it looks like we're at least for the first few plays going to start out and see if we can just blow them off the ball.
Coleman Miller on the left side.
Brandon Welch.
All area pick last year, and then Chris Holland on the right side. Abernathy, your wingback, he's in motion to the left. White get the call over the left side. He's got a Tiger first down on a penalty play. J.R. White has his helmet stripped off at about the 42-yard line. So good, tough running by the sophomore J.R. White, and moves the chains. Let's wait on the call from the officials. And this is an area where Coach John Mothershed wants to see great improvement from the Tigers, and not off to a good start, as it is a holding penalty against Deshler as Jay Gardner checks in for White.
Jimmy, a couple changes I noticed. I'll let you give the line, but I noticed Brandon Welch at guard and Evan Ferguson at the other guard, and it looks like Randy Foster and
Chris May,
and of course Scott King.
So going with that power lineup to begin. That'll be 2nd down now and 13 back at the 41-yard line after the holding call against Deshler. 11:05 go first period, no score. Deshler on its opening drive. J.R. White had reeled off the first down, but Deshler has a hold, and they'll give to Summerhill over the right side, and he's hit, fumbles the football, and it's picked up, I believe, by the Wildcats at the 42-yard line. So
Taylor Hayes, Jimmy.
A great hit on D. Anthony Summerhill, and the Wildcats draw first blood here at Howard Chapel Stadium, forcing a Deshler turnover, and they'll have excellent field position at the 43-yard line of the Tigers.
Yeah, it was a big hit. Summerhill took the handoff, was running right. He had a little opening, but the linebacker made a big hit, and number 14, Taylor Hayes for Central, made the recovery. Looks like they'll take over at the 43-yard line, Jimmy, going in.
So let's see if the defense can stiffen now. Jason Zack in there, who, man, he had a wonderful game last week. Just a junior in there at tackle. Ferguson at an end, Holland at an end, and Chris May at the other tackle. At your front 4. And then Spann, Welch, and J.R. White, your linebackers. Malone, Ballou, Morris, and Abernathy. That's your 11 defensively for the Deshler Tigers. Central out of the I formation. And we have a stoppage of play, delay of game against the Wildcats. So they come out and quickly shoot themselves in the foot, squandering excellent field position here, and they'll be 1st down and 15 with 10:48 remaining in the first period.
Jimmy, we came out in our basic 4-down lineman. Looked like he was trying to get a read on something, but he just let the clock run out. And like you said, they did start in the I formation instead of their normal spread.
And give credit to Central. They walloped our running back to cause that fumble. 1st and 15, I formation. They'll give to Hall over the right side, and he's pushing the pile, and he'll have about 2 to the 46. So backed them up to the 48, make it 2nd down and 13. But Keith, that's something that Russellville did very well, kept pushing that pile, and a slow whistle, we thought, a couple of 2 or 3 times last week, and that really hurt the Tigers.
Yeah, we're going to have to get them on the ground. Like I said, last week they tried to play rugby with us a little bit and push the pile, and several times they did let them pick up an extra 3 or 4 yards. So
2nd and 13 now. Under center for Central, Sloan Dickerson. He's just a sophomore. I formation. Look for Hall to get plenty of carries. This time they'll give it to the fullback, and a good tackle by J.R. White on the first man through. That's Taylor Hayes, also a sophomore. So Central, a good young team, but J.R. White up to the task. Give him 4 yards, make it 3rd down and 9. 3rd and 9 at the Deshler 42-yard line. 9:51 to go in the first period. Deshler coughs it up on our first possession, and Central driving now. 39, a possession down. Out of the shotgun now goes Dickerson. He'll have Hall to his left, a single receiver to the right, twins to the left side. And they'll give to Hall over the right side, and it's J.R. White once again stopping him just inside the 40. So decision time for Coach Palmer early in the ball game on 4th down, and he wastes no time sending in the punting unit. 4th down, we'll call it 7 at the 39.
Yeah, nice play by J.R. White. He stepped up in there. They ran the little belly play. Hall coming in front of the quarterback, and he stuck it out, held for a minute to see if he was going to pull it out, but he did give it. And J.R. White was standing right there to knock him down just after about a 2-yard gain.
Tim, a big hit by Central on that opening possession.
Yes, they stood DeAnthony up just a little bit and popped him, and the ball just squirted out.
Good snap on the punt, not much rush. They're going to fake it, and they're going to throw it for Hall, and it's incomplete. Good coverage downfield by Jamel Morris as he ran with Brian Hall right step for step down the left sideline, and the punter turned quarterback Dalton Wilson threw a beauty out there, Keith, but it was just well covered and then overthrown.
Good job, Jimmy, by our special teams coach, whoever it was. He had us watching. I think we were sort of looking for a fake since they were down around the 38-yard line. Good job by Jamel staying on him.
Shotgun formation now, spread offense. They'll give to Box over the right side. DJ Box with a big hole. DJ Box gone, folks, I believe. Can he catch him at the 25, 20, 15, 10, 5? Yes. Tiger touchdown. DJ Box, 61 yards over right guard. Out of the spread offense, they hand it to DJ right in front of the quarterback, Keith, and he was gone from about the 5 yards in.
Jimmy, that was some great blocking right there. We had Matt Blazer was in at a guard, and Andrew Holt and Scott King in the middle, and he handed it off right up the middle, and like you said, he put one move on the linebacker after about 3 yards past the line of scrimmage, and it just all he had to do was outrun the cornerback. Great blocking up front, great run by DJ.
So the senior tailback, DJ Box, tough week last week, was really thwarted offensively, but he comes out blazing tonight. Great to see him off and running in his senior year. Parker Wright gets a snap from Brandon Welch. He has it down, and Caleb Henry, as he has been all year, true on the extra point. And Deshler takes a 7-0 lead with 8:35 remaining in the first period. You're listening to Tiger Football on the Big Dog, back in 30 seconds. Partner along with Keith Coates, Tim Ballantyne. Folks, y'all go and support our sponsors, because without them, and I'm telling you, tough times, they have to really step up to get Deshler Football on the air. We're one of the very few football teams that are still broadcasting, especially on a great station like the Big Dog. So you really need to appreciate these sponsors and give Ken and Janice Metcalf a call over at Nostalgia. They've got all kind of antiques and things that you would really enjoy looking at, but they'd rather you purchase them, Keith.
Yeah, Jimmy, I really do thank the sponsors, and I know a lot of people listen because you hear people telling you all week what a good game it was.
Caleb Henry with a kickoff approach, and he booms one deep. It's over the receiver's head and into the end zone, so Caleb Henry booms it down to about the 6, and it takes one bounce into the end zone, so great kickoff. And Tim, that time Henry got a leg in it.
He got plenty of foot into that one, just sailed over one of the up-backs' heads and all the way through to the end zone.
So let's see if the Deshler defense can answer the bell again. 1st and 10 for Central. Tigers on top 7-0 after an excellent 61-yard run by the senior DJ Box. It's a 3-man front. Now Holland takes a hand down, and it's a 4-man front. I formation. They'll pitch to Hall over the right side. He's got a little crack, and he makes that seam work for about 6 yards out to the 26. I believe he was knocked down once again. That time by Brandon Welch, the senior middle linebacker.
Yeah, Brandon Welch made a good play. Jimmy, you can just tell when they pitch to that boy, and if you give him a step, he's going to be hard to catch. Gone. He's a tall, lanky guy.
About 6'3", 180.
Yeah, I was going to say, he looked to be about 6'2" or 6'3", and he looks like if they let him out in the open, he's going to be hard to catch.
I got my man, Dr. Lester Norville, in the stands, Keith. I made a Deshler Tiger fan out of him. I love it, boy. He's a great guy.
I see Larry Carmichael Dr. Carmichael sitting in front of him.
On a penalty play, they'll give to Hall again over the left side out of the I formation. He'll push the pile for about 2 to the 28, but that's in the vicinity of holding, and it is indeed holding on the Central Wildcats. So let's give you the Deshler 11 once again. Ryan Goodlow checking in there now. Kenyatta Abernathy, Jamel Morris, Jason Malone, and Ballou will check in for Jason Zack as they add a defensive back.
Expect them to go to the spread right here. Yeah.
Tyler Spann, Welch, and White, your linebackers. Chris May, the junior, and boy, has he gotten big. Man, he has worked in that weight room. And then Evan Ferguson had a great game last week against his old team, the Russellville Golden Tigers. Watched the film last night, Keith, and he was
could tell it meant a lot to him.
That's exactly right. So we're glad to have the Fergusons in Tigerland. Second down, and we'll call it 15 at the 15. 7:50 to go in the first period. Jimmy Gardner, Keith Coates, Tim Ballantyne, 7-0 Deshler after a fumble by the Tigers, and then they held Central, and DJ Box on the first play from scrimmage on the second possession takes it 61 yards up the middle. And we get a little antsy, the linebackers faking blitz, and I believe jumped into the neutral zone. So the Tigers, Tim, it appears, will give that 5 yards right back.
Hanks just jumped up across the line of scrimmage.
Second down and 10 now. 7:34 remaining in the first period. So important, Keith, to get this first Region 8 win under your belt.
Yeah, we do, Jimmy. We need to stop them here and take over the field position and get a quick score here. Or get another score, I'm sorry.
Let's see, still in the eye for quarterback the Central, and he'll give the first man through, and it is Chris Holland on the stop for the Deshler Tigers. And man, what a hit. Chris Holland was in the backfield, and he brings the Central running back down, drops him for about a 4-yard loss back to the 16.
Yeah, I believe it was Chris Holland and Brandon Welch, Jimmy, and I believe they got him for about a 4 or 5 yard loss there.
Now third down, an interception would be nice here for the Deshler Tigers. Third down and 14 from the 16-yard line. Deshler on top by a touchdown was halfway through the first period. Dickerson looking to throw, tries to get away from Evan Ferguson and cannot do it. The big left-hand paw brings Sloan Dickerson to the ground near the 10-yard line, and the Wildcats, after faking their first opportunity to punt, I don't believe they'll be doing that here, facing 4th down and 20 from their own 10-yard line.
Jimmy, I was watching Evan on that play. He actually got double teamed, but he put a move on the first guy, a little swim move, and then stepped around the second guy, and like you said, then knocked him down with his left hand. It was a great play by Evan Ferguson.
On the punt will be Dalton Wilson. See if the Tigers elect to rush here. Bring one man. He gets the left-footed kicker, gets it off it to Dion Ballou at the 40. Ballou looking for some running room, and he's hemmed up very well by the Wildcats. So good kick coverage by Central, and Deshler will be in business. 1st and 10 from their own, or from the Wildcat 40-yard line. And now Blake Barber, Matt Blazer, Randy Foster, Scott King checking in for the Deshler Tigers. It's Gardner and Box beside Blackburn. Official timeout. I believe that'll be a heat break at the 5:48 mark of the first period. You're listening to Tiger Football on the Big Dog, back after this 30-second timeout. Johnny Bates checking into the game for Deshler. And let's set that front 7 for you. It's Scott King, Matt Blazer, Drew Holt, Randy Foster, Coleman Miller, and Blake Barber. Dion Ballou split to the right, Johnny Bates to the left. And lined up on either side of Blackburn is Gardner and Box. Gardner to the right, Box to the left. Box already exploded on a 61-yard run early in the game. Gardner in motion. They're going to pitch it out to Box now. He's looking for running room around the left side, and he'll have about 5 yards down near the 35-yard line. So just swing it out there to him and let him make something happen.
Yeah, Jimmy, I believe actually that'd be considered in the stats a running play. He's turning. He's actually throwing the ball backwards to his left. Jay Gardner went in motion. He went out and sealed off the block, and he picked up about 6 yards. But like I said, it's just sort of serves the same purpose as like a toss pitch or something. It's a real safe pass.
Second down. We'll call it a long forward. Deshler on top by a touchdown. 5:13 remaining opening period here at Howard Chapel Stadium. Blackburn in the shotgun, looking. He's going to throw it downfield, complete for Ballou at the 25-yard line. Makes a move, and he'll get down to the 17-yard line. So good throw and catch, Blackburn to Dion Ballou, and move the chains for the Deshler Tigers. a 12-yard reception, and it's 1st and 10 Deshler at the Wildcat 17.
That's something, Jimmy, that I was hoping we would start developing as the year went on. We really missed that down and out last year that we had from Rick Mills, where we could just about always get a good 10, 12-yard gain. So that
17 yards, on the pass completion.
That time we went to Dion, and you've got to back off of him and give him a little space or he'll run by you.
Box checks out, and White and Summerhill check in, and out of the wing tee. And penalty flags everywhere for the Deshler Tigers.
Legal substitution.
And that'll back Deshler up 5 yards.
Did they run somebody off? I didn't see somebody run off.
Well, there were several coming on, several going off. So 1st and 15 back at the 20, we'll call it near the 23-yard line. Wing T formation for Deshler. It's White, Summerhill, and Johnny Bates, your wing back. Dion Ballou split to the right. They'll give to D. Anthony Summerhill around the left side, and he's at the 15, 10, 5. Summerhill in for the score. D. Anthony Summerhill wide open around the left end. Good blocking by the Deshler Tiger offensive line. And Summerhill erases a short memory from the earlier fumble, and he races in. Looked very good, 23 yards. D. Anthony Summerhill, the junior, with 4:32 remaining first period. Deshler on top 13-0.
Yeah, Chase had the ball going to his left. Jimmy and D. Anthony did a great job that time basically of following his blocking and getting outside. And then once he got outside, there wasn't going to be anybody to catch him. Great run, great blocking.
So Henry trots onto the field. This is exactly what Coach John Mothershed needed out of his Tigers. 2 stops defensively, and then after the first possession result in a turnover. Then back-to-back scores. DJ Box 61 yards, and then D. Anthony Summerhill 23 yards around left end. Parker Wright will hold for junior place kicker Caleb Henry. The snap from Welch is a good one. The hold is a good one. And Henry has it up and through. And your score with 4:32 remaining in the first period. It's Deshler 14, Central 0. You're listening to Tiger Football on the Big Dog. Back after this 30-second timeout. 3 plays and 40 yards for the Deshler Tigers, including a penalty. So Central will be penalized on the kickoff. I didn't see that call. It was after the touchdown was scored. So Caleb Henry, after booting the first one into the end zone, will have an easier job here as he's only got half the field to cover. 14-0 your score, 4:32 remaining in the first period. Official blows it ready for play.
A good time to work on our own side kick here.
I was just thinking that same thing. Here comes the approach by Henry. High end-over-end kick well into the end zone, 3 or 4 yards deep. And Central will be forced once again to take it 1st and 10 from their own 20. And Keith, the difference between the 20 and the 35-yard line, we talk about it week in and week out.
Yeah, starting position is so big. And, if you can start somebody off deep in their own territory like that and then you get a stop, then you're almost automatically in high school football starting at the 50-yard line or better.
1st and 10 now, Central Wildcats.
In the spread.
3 receivers to the right, single to the left. Out of the shotgun is Dickerson. He'll fake and is wrapped up by Evan Ferguson as he was not fooled on the play. Faked it to Darian Howell, the sophomore tailback, and was going to keep it and had Evan Ferguson actually one-on-one around the left end, but Ferguson made a good move to keep him in check.
Yeah, I was going to say that's what Coach Mothershed talks a lot of times about, one person doing their not doing their job. If Evan would have bid on the fake and stepped down, there was nobody else out there. He would have got about a 10 or 12-yard gain. Great job by Evan just staying at home and doing what he's supposed to do.
2nd and 8 now for the Wildcats. They do not huddle. Out of the shotgun. Twins to the left, single receiver to the right, and single setback beside Dickerson. Low snap. He'll hand it this time to Marion Howell. and he'll have about 2 out to the 25, give him the 26-yard line. Stop made by Chris Holland, also Brandon Welch and Ferguson there for the Deshler Tigers. 3rd down and 4 yards to go for Central back in the I formation.
Right now, Jimmy, our front four are controlling the line. They're controlling what Central's doing, and they're also freeing up our linebackers to make the stop. And they're just doing a good job right now. They're whipping Central's guys up front.
That's Ferguson, Zach, May, and Holland. 14-0 your score. 3 minutes left first quarter. Central on their 3rd possession of the evening. Faked a punt on their first one and then had to punt it away on their second one. Deshler fumbled the first time and then has back-to-back scores. And they'll give to Howell, and he's pushing the pile and near a first down. He'll be just short, about a half-yard short at the 29-yard line. Good, tough running by the sophomore Marion Howell, and good defense by Deshler. And let's see if the Wildcats will elect to punt it away. I believe they will. Had good coverage on their first punt, keeping Dion Blue in check, but he's ever dangerous.
Yeah, he is. Darian Howell doing a good job, Jimmy, a little bigger back, hitting up in the hole a little bit harder, and he helps move the pile a little bit, but he came up just about, like you said, about a half-yard short.
4th and less than a yard. And here comes the punt, low end-over-end kick. Can Ballou get over there to field it? He fields it at his own 40-yard line. Now he's got some running room at the 40. Dion Ballou makes a move at midfield. Dion Ballou down the left sideline to 40. Ballou at the 30. Ballou at the 20, at the 10. Yes! Deshler Tiger touchdown. It's Dion Ballou on another spectacular kick return. He's got a kickoff for a touchdown and add a punt return, and it's 20-0. Deshler Tigers, some great blocking, one in particular by Jamel Morris.
I was going to say, Jimmy, Jamel Morris, first of all, Dion did a good job. He did have 2 guys standing right in front of him right when he called it. He made those 2 guys miss, which is so important. But then as he turned the corner, it was one guy he had to beat, and Jamel Morris picked him off. And then on down the line just a little bit, number 63, Jason Zach got another good block on the end, and then like you said, once you let him stretch it out, he's going to take it the distance.
Deshler on top with 2 minutes remaining in the first period, 20-0. Good snap. Wright does a good job handling it, and Caleb Henry is 3 for 3, and the Deshler Tigers roaring here at Howard Chapel Stadium. Is 21-0. You're listening to Tiger football on the Big Dog, back after this 30-second timeout. Welcome back to Howard Chapel Stadium. Tim, a beautiful run on the punt return by Dion Ballou.
Yeah, Dion is a special athlete, just an outstanding, making those first 2 guys miss and then basically outrunning everybody down the left sideline.
He started at the left hash, came to pass the right hash, and then wound up down the left sideline. That tells you how he can weave in and out of traffic.
And Jimmy, Central's doing everything they could. He had a left-footed kicker, and he did a good job of getting it off. And he really just tried to squib kick it out and just get it off and get about a 30-yard. Dion went up and caught it on the bounce, and we've described the rest.
Caleb Henry with another good long kick inside the 10-yard line to the 8, but now here's another speedster, Brian Hall, and he trips up on a blade of grass at the 27, and he'll fall forward to the 33. And as you said earlier, Keith, Brian Hall, if he gets going, he is going to be one more player.
Yeah, they better keep him hemmed in because, like I said, I only know one player out there that I believe will catch him if he breaks open. That'd be D.
I don't know if do they still have the state track meet in Selma?
I'm not sure where it was.
Hosted it there for years, but I would like to go this spring and see Brian Hall and Dion Ballou side by side in the 200-meter dash. 1st and 10, Central. 21-0. Deshler on top, 4-man front for the Tigers. Shotgun for Dickerson. 2 to the right, 1 to the left. Going to throw it, and it's incomplete. Tried a little slant pattern. Intended receiver, Jackson Jones, he's a senior, and in and out of his hands, and it's 2nd and 10 now for the Wildcats.
Yeah, it's starting to look like one of those, Jimmy, just looks like we got more guys on the field than they do. It just looks like, I mean, even if he'd have caught that ball, we had like 3 guys standing there waiting on him, and it would have been a short gain anyway.
2nd and 10, Abernathy, Ryan Goodlow, Jamel Morris, Jason Malone. That's your secondary out of the shotgun. Dickerson will fake it, and he'll be brought down quickly at the 32-yard line, so no gain on the play. Jason Zach, Evan Ferguson in on the stop, along with Chris Holland, J.R. White, and J.R. White coming up He looks a little bit crampy there. Maybe a little hip pointer as he's hobbling on his right leg.
Yeah, he's limping a little bit. We'll watch him for a couple plays and get Tim to check him out when he comes over the sidelines.
3rd down 10 now for Central. 2 receivers to the right, single one to the short side of the field. Is big rush by Jamel Marsh, and Holland wraps him up. Chris Holland, as Jamel Marsh pushed Dickerson to the right, and Holland was there to record the sack. And it's 4th down and 15 now for the Wildcats, back at the 20, well, make it 18, back at the 23-yard line. And a busy man tonight, Dalton Wilson, as he'll drop 2 deep for Deshler. That's Box and Ballou. Under a minute to go, first period, 21-0, Deshler on top of the visiting Central Wildcats in this Region 8 opener for both teams. Glad you're joining us here on this beautiful Friday night. High kick this time. Ballou will fair catch it at his own 48-yard line, and the Deshler Tigers will take over 1st and 10 from their own 48.
Did a better job, Jimmy, that time. He could tell the rush wasn't coming. He took his time, got a little bit more height on it, gave the guys time to get downfield. I believe what I'd do is just kick it straight at an angle, almost out of bounds, before I'd kick it to Blue again.
Trip formations out of the spread now. D'Anthony Summerhill lined up to the left of Chase Blackburn. Box split out here to the right, and Blackburn going to look, throw it complete to Ballou, and he'll have 5, 6, makes people miss, and he's gone again. Dion Ballou made about 4 guys miss, folks, and he takes it the distance, 52 yards on the pass play from Chase Blackburn, and Deshler has raced out to a 27-0 lead with inside 30 seconds to go in the first period, and that's just strictly athletic ability.
It is. Chase raised up and just threw a quick screen out to his right. Dion had a couple of blockers out there, but after that, he pretty much did it on his own, breaking away from about 2 or 3 guys, like you said, and then he's just so hard to catch once he gets in the open field.
And the kickers from both teams are the busiest men on the field tonight. And Deshler, boy, they answered the bell here early in the first quarter as Henry has it up and through for his 4th extra point of the night. You're listening to Tiger Football on the Big Dog, back after this 30-second timeout. Welcome back to Howard Chapel Stadium. Folks, want to give you a score. Calvert County 14 has a 14-0 lead over West Limestone, and this gives me a big opportunity to plug our Tiger Tailgate Party September the 26th at 5 o'clock from 5 to 6:45 on the front lawn. Tickets are $10, sponsored by the Deshler Quarterback Club. You'll see them everywhere trying to sell these tickets. It's a fundraiser to buy the kids some warm-ups and also the junior high sweatshirt. So we really need your support at the Tiger Tailgate Party before the Calvert County game. And, of course, Keith, after Russellville, that's kind of what everybody starts pointing to now that Brooks has moved to the 9th game of the year, as Henry has an end-over-end kick down to the 15-yard line, fielded by Jarvis Carr, and he'll take it down the right side and hemmed up finally at the 36-yard line. That is Jamel Marsh, and Jason Malone on the stop for Deshler. Also for the Tigers hustling down there is Adam Worley, just a sophomore. So 1st and 10 Central. But that Tiger Tailgate Party, Keith, is going to be a huge one right before our arch rival, the Calvert County Indians, roll into Howard Chapel on the 26th.
Yeah, it'll be a lot of fun, Jimmy. A good chance for you to support the Deshler Tigers. And there's always a lot of excitement around the field and around the school the day we play Calvert County. So that ought to be a lot of fun and a good time.
The Quarterback Club's going to sponsor hamburgers, hot dogs, and barbecue. You can bring your own goodies or eat some of ours. As Central coughs it up and falls on it, Dickerson in the backfield on 1st down. But Blake Barber checks into the ball game now defensively for the Deshler Tigers, but Summerhill also in there defensively. But Keith, if you want to bring something, that's great. If you don't, we'll have plenty. So $10, come enjoy the festivities at 5 o'clock before the Calvert County game.
Yeah, that ought to be a lot of fun, Jimmy. Look forward to that. That's the end of the quarter.
End of the first quarter, Deshler 28, Central nothing. You're listening to Tiger Football on the Big Dog 105.5, back after this 30-second timeout.
just like the Deshler Tigers' winning tradition.
A box, then a 23-yard run by DeAnthony Summerhill, and then it's the Dion Ballou show, the punt return, and then a 52-yard screen pass turned into a touchdown after he broke about 4 tackles.
Yeah, Jimmy, they're doing just what Coach Mothershed asked of them right now, and they're controlling both lines of scrimmage without a doubt. Also got a lot more speed. Central has some fast guys, but Deshler has a whole lot more overall team speed. And like I said, right now, this is just pretty much what the doctor ordered up for Deshler, to get their confidence back and to get to executing on their offense. And like I said, the defense actually played well last week. You know, we didn't have a bad defensive game, and we've continued that right on to this week. So we look good defensively, and we're really starting to click a lot better tonight offensively.
A good home opening crowd has finally settled in to Howard Chapel Stadium now. I see my good friend Greg Moats down the way. He's always a big Tiger fan, listening each and every week, so we appreciate him. Second down now and 12 for the Wildcats, back at the 34-yard line after the fumble. DJ Box now finds his way onto the defensive side of the football, along with Dante Grant in there for Deshler. Dickerson dropping back. He's got time. Throws it. It's intercepted by Brandon Welch, the senior middle linebacker, way down the middle of the field, down at the 42-yard line. So he had dropped back some 23 yards. And a beautiful throw by the Central quarterback, but it was picked off by a very athletic Brandon Welch, who went high in the air, Keith, to grab that one.
Yeah, Jimmy, we got a flag down the field. I'm waiting to see what that is. A great play by Brandon Welch. He was running stride for stride with the receiver, who, like I said, the quarterback made, like you said, the quarterback made a great throw. Brandon just turned around right at the last minute, reached up and caught it in his hands. He actually looked like the receiver himself, but it was a great play. He stayed with him for about 20-something yards, which is very hard for a linebacker usually to do, to stay with a receiver.
Blocking the back on the return will back Deshler back to their 44-yard line where it's 1st and 10. But one thing last week, Keith, if you remember, Russell completed a couple down the middle of the field, and that's Welch's man, and there's that improvement between week 1 and week 2. He was having nothing of it. Spread formation, Gardner and Box and Blackburn looking to throw. He's got Coleman Miller wide open at the 45-yard line. Good pitch and catch from senior quarterback Chase Blackburn, the senior tight end, on a down and out. That's Coleman Miller, and another 15-yard gain for Deshler. Make it 16 now, down to the 43-yard line of the Wildcats. That's the way it's done.
Yeah, he was wide open. Chase did a good job of making sure he didn't over-under-throw him. He just laid it out there, let Coleman run under it. Then Coleman turned and picked up about another 5 or 6 yards, so it was a nice play.
1st and 10. Deshler Tigers up 28-0 to begin the second quarter. He's going to throw it out on the down and out to Box. He makes one miss to 35 and finally hemmed up after dancing his way inside the 35 to the 33-yard line. Make it 2nd down now and give him 6 on the reception. 2nd down and 4.
Yeah, nice catch there by DJ. Made one man miss. Couldn't make the next man miss, but it was a nice 6-yard gain. And we can always look across, Jimmy, and let Randy Inman tell us how many yards we got.
That's exactly right. 11:08 to go in the first half. Spread formation, trips out to the right. Gardner, your single setback beside Blackburn. Gardner in the flat. Blackburn looking down the field, and he's got Dion Ballou on the button hook. Complete. Ballou making a miss. Can he do it again, folks? All the way inside the 5-yard line to the 3. It's Dion Ballou. Unbelievable. A button hook pattern, and Blackburn delivered a strike, and Ballou did the rest as he'll take it down inside the 5-yard line. It's 1st and goal again, Deshler Tigers.
Jimmy, it was a great throw and catch and run by Dion, but that'll be one of those plays when you see the film. Number 5, Darian Howell, just unloaded on Chase after he let the ball go. And he hit him. Chase stood in there, took the lick. He knew he was going to get hit. Made a great throw, and then, like I said, Dion did the rest. But that was a big lick on our quarterback right there.
1st and goal now. Out of the spread go the Tigers. Johnny Bates split to the left side, Ballou to the right. Gardner in motion to the left side. And it's a bad snap. Gets by Blackburn. Blackburn scrambling now. He's got Bates, and it's incomplete. Intended for Johnny Bates on the left side. Actually had 2 receivers kind of out there in the same vicinity, but he overthrows it. And nobody hurt there, no harm, no foul, as Blackburn just unloads it and gets rid of it. I don't know if it got by him, he wasn't expecting it or what, Keith.
Looked like the snap. He wasn't quite ready for the snap. He was still getting his reads on the defense. Like you said, that play kind of blew up from the start, but once he got the ball back, he looked to his left and threw a pass that only, we had a chance to catch. So no harm, no foul. Nothing.
Second down and goal from the 3-yard line. Wing T formation now. Blackburn under center. And they'll give to Gardner over the right side, and Jay Gardner in for the score on a penalty play. So Gardner in his first carry of the night takes it in, but we'll have to wait on the official as it may come back. Holding against the Deshler Tigers, and I believe it was on the left side of the ball, Keith, away from the run. So that really hurts the Deshler Tigers, and Gardner had started his little beanbag routine once again in 2008 as he bounced off one to the right and then one to the left and took it on in the end zone. 28-0, Deshler trying to add to a 4-touchdown lead. The run nullified and back to the 13-yard line. Go the Tigers. Second and goal now from the 13. Johnny Bates split way out to the left as Deshler moves toward the east end, toward the dips at Howard Chapel Stadium. Spread formation. Blackburn looking, going to loft it deep for Box, and in and out of his hands. DJ Box had it about 7 yards deep in the end zone, and it was just in and out of his hands. Great throw again by the senior, Chase Blackburn.
Yeah, he laid it in there perfect, Jimmy. We did a nice job. As you explained, Jonathan Bates was over here about 5 yards from the out of bounds with Dion in the slot. So with DJ in the slot. So he just ran down and an angled out, and Chase laid it in there. And he had to stretch out for it, but we just dropped it right at the end.
Third down now, goal to go from the 13. Gardner and Box out of the spread beside Chase Blackburn. And they'll fake to Gardner over the left side, throw it down the middle for Miller. He's got it in. Yes, touchdown, Deshler Tigers. Coleman Miller in a crowd. Blackburn throws another strike, pinpoint accuracy by the senior, and Coleman Miller has his first touchdown of 2008, a 13-yard strike from Chase Blackburn in traffic. And with 10:01 remaining in the first half, it's Deshler all over the Wildcats, 34-0.
Yeah, great catch there, Jimmy, by Coleman Miller. He went up in between a couple people, brought it back in, and I believe he was at about the 1-yard line. He backed into the end zone. So
had it high, and then I think he had to catch it again right around his waist, but he was able to hang on and back up into the end zone, and Henry on to attempt the PAT. Good snap by Welch. Parker Wright has it down, and Caleb Henry has it up and through, and your score with 10 minutes left in the first half. Deshler 35, Central nothing. You're listening to Tiger Football on the Big Dog. Back after this 30-second.
It's Deshler Tiger Football on Rock 105.5, the Big Dog.
Hey, folks, want to remind you, we just talked about the Tiger Tailgate Party. It's September the 26th. Before the Colbert County game on the front lawn here in front of the Winston home on the campus of Deshler High School. Tickets $10, sponsored by the Deshler Quarterback Club. Going to be plenty of food here and share alike. $10 in the money sponsoring the Deshler Tiger football team, some warm-ups, and the junior high sweatshirt. So we appreciate your support of Tiger football. And Ballou on the punt will take a fair catch at his own 42-yard line, and that's where the Tigers will take over. 1st and 10 from their own 42-yard line, leading the Central High Wildcats 35-0. A few changes coming onto the field now for Deshler. As Seth Daniels, the junior, coming in for Dion Ballou, and it's timeout Central on the field. And we'll take timeout as well. You're listening to Tiger Football on the Big Dog.
Football, it's Deshler Tiger Football on Rock 105.5, the Big Dog.
Coming out of the timeout now for the Deshler Tigers is Foster, Drew Holt, Scott King, Matt Blazer, Blake Barber, Coleman Miller, and then Seth Daniels split out to the right side out of the spread. Johnny Bates to the left, and Gardner and Box beside Blackburn. 1st and 10. They'll give to DJ Box over the right side. Another big hole for Box. Makes a good move at the 40. DJ Box at the 35-yard line, dancing away from another one at the 30. Down to Deshler sideline, weaving his way to the 20-yard line goes DJ Box, the senior, as he'll have counted up 10, 20, 30, and that'll up near him 100 yards on the night after the 61-yard touchdown scamper early in the ball game. So good, tough running again by DJ Box. 1st and 10, Tigers at the 20.
Doing a good job, Jimmy. He came up through the line, and on about the 50, just stopped on a dime, made a guy miss, cut out to his left, broke 3 or 4 more tackles, and like I said, they ended up hemming him in about the 21-yard line, I believe.
Wing T formation, Gardner at fullback, Summerhill in for Box at tailback, Blackburn under center. They'll give to Gardner over the right side, and making something out of nothing is Gardner for about a yard, but blocking broke down there, and it's 2nd down and 9 for the Deshler Tigers at the 19.
Number 76, Jacob Hurston, coming through for Central and hit Jay just as he got his hands on the ball. He drug him for about, looks like about a yard.
No gain now. So 2nd down, we'll call it 10 yards to go as Box checks back into the ball game for Summerhill. He feeds the play into Chase Blackburn. 2nd down and 10 from the 20. 4:50 to go in the first half. 35-0 Deshler over the visiting Wildcats.
DJ's at
DJ in at quarterback. They're going to run him around the right side, and he's hit hard at the 19-yard line. Nowhere to go for Box around right end, and it'll be 3rd down. We'll call it 9 yards to go for the Deshler Tigers.
Tried that play a couple times last week, Jimmy, with DJ running a little bit more up the middle. That time he did try to go around the right end, but there wasn't a lot of blocking on that side that time, and they had 2 linebackers step in there and hold him to a 1-yard gain, it looks like.
3rd down, 9 to go. Blackburn out of the shotgun. Gardner beside him. Ryan Goodlow split out to the right with Coleman Miller, and then it's Box and Bates to the left. So 2 receivers to either side for Chase. On 3rd and 9. He'll have plenty of time to throw it. Going to launch a bullet in there, complete and drop by Johnny Bates. He caught it, fumbles the football. Let's see who recovers it. Let's see if the Tigers hold on. I believe he does. So Johnny Bates catches it, fumbles it, and then retrieves it. And after it's all said and done, it'll be 4th and 3 at the 13 for Deshler. So field goal or go for it. Basically your choices for Coach John Mothershed.
I believe he'll go for it here unless he just wants to work on the field goals. Johnny Bates did a good job of making the catch. Jimmy, he knew he had about 2 yards to go for the 1st down. I think he was concentrating more on turning it up and trying to get the 1st down. Like you said, he left the ball on the ground, had to fall on it, which made him end up coming up about 3 or 4 yards short.
4th and 3 now. Out of the wing T come the Tigers. Blackburn under center. They'll give to Gardner over the left side. He's got the 1st down and a touchdown. Yes, touchdown, Deshler Tigers. Jay Gardner from 13 yards out. And on his first carry of the night, he had a 3-yard score that was nullified by a holding call, so gets his redemption, and the Tigers race out to a 41-0 lead with 3:08 remaining in the first half.
It's a great job, Jimmy, of a great run by Jay, great blocking up front. He took it off to the left, had a couple of great blocks by Scott King and Matthew Blazer, and then he just cut back to his right and outran the pursuit.
Good blocking up front by Blazer and Scott King to spring the sophomore, Jay Gardner. Good snap. Parker Wright gets it down, and Caleb Henry kicks it through. And with 3:08 remaining in the first half, it's Deshler 42, Central nothing. You're listening to Tiger Football on the Big Dog. Back after this 30-second timeout. 42-0 if you're just joining us. Deshler on top of the visiting Central Wildcats. Jimmy Gardner along with Keith Coates and Tim Ballantyne. Tim, good tough running that time for the touchdown.
Yeah, like Keith said, it just opened up on the left side. Jay spotted the hole to the right, cut back, and outran everyone into the end zone.
Ryan Coburn on now to kick off, rest Caleb Henry. As he's 5 for 5 or 6 for 6 on the extra points, and Coburn now, and I'll tell you, Keith, he has been booming them in practice. I watched him kick
straight on kicker, Jimmy?
Straight on kicker, just a junior. And here comes the approach. Good kick, end over end, down to about the 12-yard line, fielded by Central after the bobble. And here come the Tigers, and a big lick that time by the Deshler kicking team, and that is number 27, Will Miner, just a freshman for Deshler, and also giving chase for the Deshler Tigers was Micah Crump. Of course, Chris Crunk, his dad, Crunk Pools, one of our sign sponsors down the east end zone, so we appreciate everything Chris Crunk does, and Micah's going to be a good one, just a junior, Key.
Yeah, he had a beat on him. He wasn't
yes, he
stop.
did. Man, what a... And then what a lick also by Will Miner there. 1st and 10, shotgun for the Central Wildcats.
Got some new linebackers in there, Jimmy.
And they'll give to the first man through, and he's got a hold to 30-yard line and brought down by Seth Daniels after the first down of about 12 yards. But let's get some changes. That's Rashad Thompson in there for the Deshler Tigers. Also, Cody Dobbs, just a sophomore. And I tell you, folks, this sophomore class don't go anywhere. They play together, they love each other, and they're going to be some good ones. Trey Rowell in there at middle linebacker, Worley at the outside linebacker along with Micah Crunk. And then Dante Grant, Kobe Spann, just a freshman in there at free safety. And Anthony Gatewood, the senior, in at cornerback for the Deshler Tigers. Stephen Abel's also at the defensive end as they'll have it complete out in the flat and hog-tied and brought down for the Tigers. Dante Grant making the tackle after a 6-yard gain, but a good throw and catch by the Wildcats. Make it 2nd down outside their own 40-yard line, trailing 42-0 with 2 minutes remaining in the first half.
Will Miner coming in the game, Jimmy, at safety on the far side.
So we got Abels, Thompson, Dobbs, and Ilkin Mills, all sophomores, folks, and that's probably be your starting 4 there a couple of years now maybe for the Deshler defensive front, as this time they'll get it out to Hall, and Brian Hall making Tigers miss all the way down to the 38-yard line before sophomore Trey Rowell brings him down. And so a good stop by Trey Rowell. And I tell you something, Keith, Trey Rowell, he looks like a player out there, and I know his work ethic, I know his parents, he comes from good stock. And, man, I felt his bicep today, and I'm telling you, he's been spending some time in that weight room.
Yeah, nice job, Jimmy. Middle linebacker. Like to see him hustling, making the stop about 15 yards down the field. He never gave up.
1st and 10, Central, inside Tiger territory to 40 with the clock ticking down, 1:40 left first half. They'll give to the first man through, and let's see who comes up with a stop after about a 2-yard gain. That's Ilkin Mills. Ilkin Mills, the sophomore, along with Rashad Thompson, bringing down the Central Wildcats. So right now, you got Crunk, a junior, and then Rowell, Abels, Worley, Mills, Rashad Thompson, and Cody Dobbs, all sophomores in there getting some valuable playing time here in the first half of a Region 8 opener against the Wildcats. Deshler up by 6 scores. 2nd down and 8 for the Wildcats. Dickerson with a big rush. He eludes it, and Micah Crunk there to bring him down. Maybe a yard gain. Good closing speed by the junior Micah Crunk.
Yeah, good job, Jimmy, of pressuring him by Adam Worley. Made him step up in the pocket, and like you said, he ran him into Michael Crunk. And, boy, he comes in like a heat-seeking missile. So he gets his eye on the ball carrier, and he goes for him hard.
Good to see our good buddy Clint Blankenship in the booth here. He's working with Warren Johnson, spotter over there for Warren, our PA announcer, and Henniger Johnson Layton Insurance, a big sponsor for many, many years of Deshler Tiger football, and we appreciate them. So Central calls timeout, facing 3rd down and 6 from the Deshler 36-yard line. We'll take a quick break, too, from Howard Chapel Stadium. It's Deshler 42, Central nothing. You're listening to Tiger football on the Big Dog, back in 30 seconds.
It's always fun, Jimmy, to watch the younger guys get in there. Got a lot of bounce in their step. They've been practicing, working hard, and they're ready to get their shot.
3rd down, 6, shotgun formation. Dickerson drops back trying to set up a screen, and they fooled us. They had a huge rush from that younger guys, and they'll take it down near 1st down yardage. Good closing speed by the senior Dante Grant that time, but that's something that they will all learn from, is that, man, it's like a dam broke.
If something feels wrong, it may be. If somebody lets you go that easy, you might want to stop.
Tim, they were coming hard that time.
They were excited. Like it's like a jailbreak.
Central does get the 1st down. They've got it 1st and 10 at the 27-yard line. Dickerson out of the shotgun. Good snap. Drops straight back. He's going to launch it deep for the end zone, and it's in and out of the hands of Dante Grant and caught for a Central touchdown. So Dante Grant had a chance at it. Actually, I believe Will Miner there as well. He might have blocked Grant's view as he went up high for the ball, and it came down, and Grant, well, oh, man, he'll think about that before he goes to sleep tonight.
Quarterback dropped back, looked to his right. They just sent a go pattern with 20-something seconds to go, and defensive backs did everything they were supposed to, jumped up, hit it at his highest point, and I guess that's why you work on the old tip drill, because it tipped right to the receiver, and he was
good presence by Dalton Wilson, the sophomore wide receiver, also the punter for the Central Wildcats. So good presence of mind by Wilson to concentrate. And he gets the touchdown on the 27-yard pass reception from Dickerson. And with 23 seconds remaining in the first half, it's Deshler 42, Central 7. You're listening to Tiger Football on the Big Dog, back after this 30-second timeout. Welcome back. Tim, was that number 84 or 34 on that reception? Could you see?
Not mistaken, I believe it was 84.
That's Dylan Robinson. He's also just a sophomore, so I want to give credit where credit's due. It's hard to see with the black numerals there between the 3 and the 8. So good catch by the Wildcats for a touchdown. 42-7, however. DJ Box over 100 yards rushing in the first half for the Tigers, and Dion Ballou with 2 touchdowns. And here comes a pooch kick. Will be fielded by Gatewood at the 30-yard line, and he runs it back to the 25, and he's tackled there at the 25-yard line. So Deshler may have time for one more play here, as some changes offensively now for the Tigers. That's Alex Sharon, the big sophomore, in there for Deshler. Parker Wright trots in at quarterback for the Tigers. Good to see him out there, the junior. Stephen Abel, Sed Daniels, Dante Grant, Will Miner in there at fullback for Deshler. And let's see if they'll elect to run a play or just fall on it here.
Kobe Spann at wingback.
Kobe Spann comes in motion. They will give it to Miner over the right side, and he breaks free, and he'll have the Tiger first down. So Will Miner running hard out to the 40-yard line, and they'll temporarily stop play unless I doubt that the Tigers will try to get another play off. Joseph Southern in there for the Deshler Tigers. Good to see him hustling out. He's a senior, and I tell you, he's worked real hard in this Deshler Tiger program. Great kid. Know his mom and dad very well, and great, as we said about Rowell, comes from some good people.
Yeah, and Jimmy, like you just made a good point. All these kids are up here at 6:30 in the morning all summer, so it's good sometimes to get to see them get a chance to show what they can do.
That's the end of your first half with Deshler. Also, John Burton in on that last possession for the Tigers.
They need it, and all that you can do to help these kids get things is greatly appreciated.
Val, go ahead and strike up that fight song there. As the Tigers make their way back on to the field. And now, what do you do if you're Coach John Mothershed in this opening possession of the second half? We're on defense. Do you put your starters back there, let them get a little bit more playing time, and then get them on out and rest them the rest of the way?
Jimmy, he might start the starters just to get them used to getting loose at halftime and stretching and getting warm and making sure they come out and pass. But you can rest assured they won't be in there long, because he's not going to chance an injury, even a sprained ankle or something like that. But I think he showed getting them out, probably two-thirds of the way through the second quarter, that he's going to get a lot of the younger players in there tonight, get them some playing time, get them some experience. You don't know how many games you're going to have like this where you can get them some action. And so I look to see a lot of young players, a lot of new numbers running in and out of there. That ought to be exciting for those kids and their parents, and it ought to be a fun second half.
We'll be back with the second half kickoff after this 30-second timeout. You're listening to Tiger Football on the Big Dog.
Let's get back to the game. It's Deshler Tiger Football on Rock 105.5, the Big Dog.
Welcome back to Howard Chapel Stadium. About set to kick off. Caleb Henry will do the honors for the Deshler Tigers. Kenyatta Abernathy, Coleman Miller, Jay Gardner, Brandon Welch, Adam Worley, Jason Zack, Jamel Morris, Ryan Goodlow. Gordon on the Deshler kicking team.
Jimmy, I believe the first team defense will start and probably go with Parker Wright starting at quarterback when we get the ball back.
Dante Grant also in there for the kicking team. Had me mesmerized, Keith, trying to find that last number. 42-7, just about to get underway in the third period here from Howard Chapel Stadium. High end-over-end kick, sails down to the 10-yard line. Picked up by the ever-dangerous Hall. He makes one man miss and have it out over the 30 to the 34-yard line for the Wildcats.
Brandon Welch
on the stop. Dante Grant went flying in, but Hall was able to elude him. And Henry hustles back, picks his tee up, and trots back to the sideline. And a busy night for the kicker, Caleb Henry. And it is May, Zach, and Ferguson along the front. Worley, Welch, and Summerhill at linebacker. Chris Holland in there at the defensive end spot as well. And then Ryan Goodlow, Jamel Morris, Jason Malone, and Kenyatta Abernathy for Deshler. 1st and 10. Give to the fullback over the right side, and he's hemmed up by Welch after a couple of yard gain. Out over the 35 to the 37. Goes a hard running Taylor Hayes, and it'll be 2nd down and 8 now for the Wildcats. Then all Deshler after an opening possession fumble. DJ Box took it 61 yards, and then Summerhill 23 yards. Dion Blue with a punt return, and then a 52-yard pass reception for a touchdown. Then Jay Gardner with a 13-yard run. 2nd down, 8. They'll give to the first man through out of the shotgun, and that is Ben Siegel, the sophomore, and he's hemmed up by Kenyatta Abernathy. So Abernathy with a hard hit that time, and he'll drop him for virtually no gain, says chain crew chief Randy Inman. That'll probably start an argument, calling him chief like that.
Yeah. Danny Henson, Archie Smith, David Fleming. That's the other three I see over there with Randy.
3rd down, 7 for the Wildcats. 10:22 remaining in the third period, 42-7. Most of the crowd has stayed around for at least a part or a portion of this second half. A good home crowd in this Region 8 opener for both teams. Good night for high school football after the rain has moved on. Shotgun for Dickerson is batted down by Chris Holland as he tries to throw the slant-in pattern. Had no chance as he actually hit Holland almost in the helmet.
Well, something interesting, we saw the difference in last week where Russell had a 6'3", 6'4" quarterback, and he had a better chance of throwing over Chris Holland, even though I think he batted some down last week. But this quarterback's probably more in the 5'10" range, and like you said, he jumped up and it hit him about in the face mask, I believe.
Can Russell run the table?
I don't know, Jimmy. They've got a pretty good team. If they continue to improve each week, they could be hard to beat.
Off the side of the kicker's foot for Central, but he gets a good Wildcat roll out at the 39 along the Deshler sideline. That's Kirby Jean, with the punt. And let's see who trots on the field for the Tigers. It is Parker Wright at quarterback. Dante Grant, Kobe Spann will be your backs. Alex Sharon, Joseph Southern, Micah Crunk, Stephen Abels, Trey Rowell in there offensively. And get the tight end for you and split out is Sed Daniels, and Wright will take it, give it off to Dante Grant. He's hemmed up by Hall for a loss of about a yard on the play. Will Minor in there as well for the Tigers.
Another reason this is really good experience for the Deshler guys is basically Central still got their starters out there. So you've got our second team or whatever going against Russell's first team. So that's even going to give our guys more experience.
Tight end for the Deshler Tigers. We got to get a name on him. Number 82. They'll give to Grant over the left side. He's got running room. Dante Grant near a first down, will be brought down just short at the 47-yard line. Let's see if we can get a name on that big, good-looking tight end out there for the Deshler Tigers.
Nice run by Grant, Jimmy. That time he came around the left end, and cut up inside broke a couple of tackles, and got a nice about, 8-yard gain.
So big third down, possession down for this second unit in there. Southern, Sharon, Rowell, Crunk, Abels. Said Daniel split out of the wing tee. Quarterback Parker Wright, the junior signal caller. In motion comes Spann. They'll give to the fullback, and he'll have the first down as Minor at midfield. Good tough running by the freshman Will Minor, and it'll be 1st and 10, Deshler Tigers at midfield. 8:10 remaining in the third. 42-7, Deshler Tigers all over the visiting Central Wildcats tonight.
Yeah, look for Deshler to try to keep grinding it out, Jimmy, and try to use up a little bit of that clock right here. Just grind out first down after first down if they're able to.
Well, I remember when Parker Wright had to come in for the injured Blackburn in that Boaz game last year in overtime.
How big it was. Chase took a big lick and sort of had a mild concussion, and he stepped right in like he had done it. And it's games like this that helps them get to that point, Jimmy.
Broken play. Wright has it bobbled away, and now he's got it back, and he'll be sacked. Turned around for the running back, and no one there. So Parker Wright had to eat it. And he does, and wisely takes it down, although he'll lose about 5 on the play back to the 45-yard line. Make it 2nd and 15 now for the Deshler Tigers. 42-7, Tigers on top of Central. Next week, Tigers on the road at Lawrence County. Deshler's got a 28-3 record against Lawrence County. They'll give to Spann on the inside reverse, and he's hauled down in the backfield. So Tigers going backwards here on the last couple of plays, blocking, breaking down. And it'll be 3rd down and 17 yards to go. And I think it's a point in the ball game when you can throw the ball. Fair game. You've got your second team in there. They need to work on some things. And you're facing the 3rd and 18 from your own 41-yard line.
You made the point just a minute ago. There could be a time in a Leeton game or something like that where Parker Wright had to come into the game and needed to pass the ball, and this could really gain him some experience right here.
And see what they elect to do on 3rd and 18. And Wright will roll out, looking deep, going to launch it for Seth Daniels, and just overthrown. Beautiful spiral pass off the hands of Parker Wright, and just ran out of real estate. Did Seth Daniels down around the 30-yard line. And the Deshler Tigers will be forced to punt, but they did eat up several minutes off the clock. And with 6:24 remaining in the third, it's Deshler 42, Central 7.
Nice pass there by Parker Wright, Jimmy. Again, we say it a lot, but he threw it the only the place where our guy could catch it, and there's no way they could knock it down. And you remember Seth Daniels made a really nice catch for a touchdown in the Jamboree, I believe, against Florence. So he showed really good speed going after that ball, and he looked good. And I think, like you said, that's a good point you made. That's important that Parker Wright get a chance to roll out and throw that pass.
Blake Barber in to punt, and boy, he's got a good one. Just end over end, one step. He's got it about 40 yards downfield, so Barber doing a good job. And Tim, this good for everyone, and getting some young guys in there to play in this second half helps practice a whole lot in the next week.
Guys, it really helps the morale of the team when, these second, third teamers get a little chance to play. Like you say, make practicing next week a whole lot easier.
Cody Dobbs in there at defensive end. And Andrew Watkins, the senior at tackle for Deshler. Rashad Thompson, Ilkin Mills, that's your front four. And then Crunk, Rowell, and Worley, your linebackers. Spann, Minor, Dante Grant, and Gatewood, your secondary. Out of the shotgun, they'll give to Hall, and he's hauled down from behind. I believe that is Ilkin Mills with the stop. Boy, he's going to be a good one. And you watch a guy like Cody Dobbs, Keith, he's just a sophomore, and he'll go from playing in the second half till you'll turn around and blink your eyes, and he'll be one of your anchors on the defensive front.
Exactly right, Jimmy. He looks good. Is that number 49? Is that Andrew Watkins in there?
Andrew Watkins.
Andrew was in on that tackle right there. Great kid, Jimmy. I'm really glad to see him get to play. He works hard, and he really he wants to be a good football player, and saw him hustling downfield to make a tackle. What a fine kid he is.
5:41 remaining in the third heat break here from Howard Chapel Stadium. Jimmy Gardner along with Keith Coates, Tim Ballantyne. Your score, Deshler 42, Central 7. We'll be back after this 30-second timeout. You're listening to Tiger Football on the Big Dog.
Tiger Football on Rock 105.5, the Big Dog.
Folks, we think a tight end is John Burton, just a sophomore as well, and he's still growing. I mean, every time I see him, it's putting on an inch. So he's going to be a big
Philip.
Yep.
Yeah, he's
tall.
Probably about 6'2" or 3. Yeah,
at least. Second down and 3. Shotgun trying to draw the Tigers off sides. They sit still. 42-7. Deshler on top. They'll give to Howell over the left side, and it's Cody Dobbs along with Trey Rowell on the stop for the Deshler Tigers. And checking into the ball game, Taylor Posey, the sophomore. He's going to give Watkins a break. And I believe Central will have a first down, 1st and 10 Wildcats at their own 26-yard line.
One thing I will say, Jimmy, we may put in younger players, but we don't always lose a lot of size.
Man.
We got some really big boys out there.
Rashad Thompson, what a player he's become, folks. Just a sophomore. He has really worked hard. Howell over the left side, and he's grabbed and brought down by Adam Worley, but he had a little part of the body you're not supposed to have, or the equipment, excuse me, and that's the face mask, and that'll be a 15-yarder against the Deshler Tigers.
That was one of those he had the running back looking at his ear hole. He actually grabbed it and he pulled it pretty good there.
So next week, Lawrence County, then after that at home versus Rogers, and then back-to-back home games as Colbert County will roll in on the 26th. And don't forget, the Tiger Tailgate Party just prior to the Colbert County game. I already have invited several of our Colbert County friends down. They're going to join us there. The quarterback club is going to have hamburgers, hot dogs, barbecue, and then you bring your own goodies or eat some of ours. There'll be plenty for everyone. Tickets only $10. 1st and 10. They'll give it out to the slot man, and he's quickly wrapped up by Micah Crunk along with Kobe Spann after about a 3-yard gain to the 44-yard line. The penalty had moved it to the 40 and give him 4 yards on the catch. Second down and 6 with 4:13 remaining in the third period. Deshler up by 35.
Good job of closing there. Raised up through to number 8, Ben Siegel out on the right. He looked like he had a lot of running room, but we've also got some good speed still on the field, and we did a good job of closing there and held him to about a 3 or 4 yard gain.
Second down, 4-man front for Deshler. Dickerson's going to keep it around the left side. He's got Dobbs out there along with Will Minor. Will Minor comes up big, and Cody Dobbs wraps him up. So hustling out from his defensive end spot, and he had that good kind of help you like to see coming out of that secondary.
Yeah, good job, Jimmy, by Will Minor. He came up, and he was getting good pursuit with Cody Dobbs. He was running him. Will Minor closed on him, did a good job of taking him down for about a 1-yard loss. And I was going to ask you, I remember asking you over at the Jamboree, Rashad is coming off a knee injury, is he not?
Yes, that's exactly right. So it's his first action, but looked real good in the spring Jamboree down at Oxford. So third down, we'll call it 4 to go. They've got to get to midfield, and they'll give to the fullback, and a couple of missed tackles, and off to the races inside Deshler territory before he's finally brought down by Kobe Spann is Taylor Hayes, the sophomore, and that'll move the chains for the Wildcats. And now that's some film work that we'll be able to go back and look at because some missed tackles, missed opportunities there by this young defense.
Yeah, now that's something that should be, no matter what age or what grade they're in, they ought to lock up because they all go through the tackling drills and so on and so forth. So they need to wrap him up.
Shotgun for Central, 1st and 10. They'll give it around the right end. And looking for running room and turned in very well by Gatewood is Ben Siegel for Central. He'll have about a 3-yard gain to the Deshler 40, but Gatewood did a good job coming up and turning the play back in.
Yeah, good job, Jimmy. And you see a lot of these guys, like you keep saying, these are going to be guys you're going to be counting on in the next year or so, and you can really see some of these guys.
Maybe this year,
yeah,
you never know.
Right.
42-7. Tigers on top. Second down, we'll call it 7 to go. As they'll give once again to the tailback. And a good open field tackle by Ilkin Mills. And you remember him from last year. Keith made some great plays as a freshman, and he's in there wrapping up, working hard for the Deshler Tigers. And he'll bring down the tailback, Ben Siegel, for about a 3-yard gain. Third down, we'll call it a short 4 at the Deshler 37. Tigers on top by 35.
That was a little newer version of the Statue of Liberty where he runs by the running back and then reaches around and sticks it back in his stomach.
Linebackers walk up on the outside for Deshler, so really a 5-man front as they'll give to Siegel, and a big hit in the backfield that time. It's Adam Worley along with Taylor Posey in there for the Deshler Tigers. Good job by the sophomore Taylor Posey that time from his tackle spot. And it's 4th down. Central will go for it, 4th and 5 from the Tiger 39-yard line with inside a minute to go. Third period, Deshler 42, Central 7. Jimmy Gardner along with Keith Coates, Tim Ballantyne walking the sidelines, prowling around. All for you at home on the Big Dog 105.5 on 4th down. Dickerson going to scramble, and he's wrapped up, turned in by Cody Dobbs, and wrapped up by big Rashad Thompson. And Tim, that's a good play that time on a big possession play, 4th down, and the Deshler defense rises to the occasion.
These young defenders really playing well, giving them some invaluable experience, holding the center there and turning the ball over on them.
Offense trotting onto the field now. It's Micah Crunk, Stephen Abels, Parker Wright, Alex Sharon, Kobe Spann, Joseph Southern, Seth Daniels, Will Miner, John Burton. I can tell the way he's moving now out there. That's him. That's my man at the tight end. 1st and 10. Give to Miner over the right side. He's juking and jiving. Can he break free? He'll be inside Central territory at the 48. Gain of 13 on the play for the freshman Will Miner. And it'll be 1st and 10, Deshler Tigers. When we come back for the 4th quarter of play, you're listening to Tiger football on the Big Dog.
Auto Depot Express located
at the Big Dog.
Welcome back to Howard Chapel Stadium. At the end of 3, it's Deshler 42, Central 7, and this really what you want if you're a head coach is you get out to a big halftime lead and then you play hard in that 3rd quarter, but you don't put any points on the board.
Yeah, you're exactly right, Jimmy, because you don't really want to run the score up on anybody or make anybody feel like, that you're trying to show them up. But I noticed right there already with the offense coming back on the field for the 2nd time, you could already see a little more confidence right there. You could see a little bit more of assurance of what they were doing. You saw the line fire off, the backs come through there. So again, that's why this is so valuable to Deshler. And I was trying to glance out there. It still looks like most of Central starters out there. So it's really good experience for them.
Well, if you're a Central Wildcat coach, you got the opposite problem. You don't want to risk getting 49, 56, and 63 points put up against you. So you got to leave your starters a little bit longer than you probably like to in a game like that.
I think you do, and I think you got to show the boys that, that the coach is not giving up on you. We're not quitting. We're going to get in there and fight. And I think they're doing that, and Central's doing a good job. We've, like you said, they held us scoreless in the 3rd quarter, and if I'm not mistaken, they did that to Haleyville last week. Haleyville jumped out on them real early, and Central was able to shut them down. I believe Haleyville intercepted a pass late in the game and ran it back 53 yards to seal the victory, like a 28-13 victory over Haleyville over Central.
And they're a proud bunch out there at Central. Great community support, and their fans are staying with them. And then I believe they've got the right coach in the right position out there. He'll do a good job. But let's talk about tomorrow. Auburn Southern Miss, Alabama hosting Tulane Saturday night, and we'll get to that in just a few moments and see what we call Ronnie Garner the guru, and we'll have to come up and see how good you are at it, Keith. He was a fairly good predictor of those Saturday games. 42-7 as we're set to begin the 4th quarter of play.
We didn't swap there for the.
And luckily they're right at midfield, right at the 48, so it wasn't a big changeover. Boy, that Alex Sharon is a big boy out there, folks, in tackle. He is going to be a good player for the Deshler Tigers. Already is, and just growing and learning, and he's going to be a tough one. Burton lined up beside him at tight end. He gets a good block, just happened to be watching, and Will Miner is sprung free by the good down blocking of John Burton, a tight end. And Miner will take it for about an 8-yard gain near the 40-yard line, so make it 2nd and 2 behind some good blocking and tough running by this young Deshler Tiger bunch.
Yeah, quick opening off the fullback up the middle. And I guess we mentioned this, but if some are out there sitting wondering, right now we're running strictly wing tee.
Right.
I mean, we're running the old formation, the wing tee, the fullback dive up the middle, the buck sweep, and, just straight wing tee formations with a wing back right now.
Miner and Dante Grant behind quarterback Parker Wright. He'll give to Miner over the left side. He breaks free. Will Miner inside the 30 and down to the 25-yard line goes the freshman Will Miner. He'll have about 14 on the carry. And it'll be 1st and 10 Deshler Tigers at the 25-yard line with 11 minutes to go in the ball game. Deshler on top, 42-7. Big home opening win for the Deshler Tigers after that demoralizing and disheartening loss at Russellville last week.
Yeah, I believe we've learned some stuff. Jimmy came back and learned off of our mistakes. I hadn't seen many penalties. And we've done a good job of running our offense tonight, so we've seen a lot of improvement tonight.
1st and 10. Wright will give it over to Grant. Grant will have it around the right side, and he'll have it down to about the 18-yard line. A gain of 7 around the right side. Stephen Abel's out there blocking hard for the Deshler Tigers. John Burton again with a good block. Joseph Southern, Alex Sharon, Micah Crunk in there. And he's seeing some action both ways for the Deshler Tigers, so doing a good job is the junior Micah Crunk. Also, Trey Rowell as well in there at left guard now. He's seeing some action on both sides of the football. And they'll give to Miner. Big hole for Will Miner. Can he take it? He's at the 10, at the 5. Yes, Tiger touchdown. Will Miner from 15 yards out. Good, tough running there for the freshman. And with 10:04 remaining in the game, it's Deshler 48, Central 7.
Jimmy, a great job of leading him around the end by number 70, Trey Rowell right there. We last year was so easy for us to see running that buck sweep when Matt Blazer would get out front and you could see the back cut right off his hip. And that time it was number 70, Rowell, and he did a great job, and DJ did a good job of cutting right off his hip and going the distance.
So there's timeout on the field, and we'll take timeout as well. Your score, Deshler 48, Central 7. You're listening to Tiger Football on the Big Dog. Back after this 30-second timeout.
Football on Rock 105.5, the Big Dog.
Welcome back. Timeout was taken, and Ryan Coburn on to attempt the extra point for the Deshler Tigers out of the hole of Parker Wright and the snap of Brandon Welch. So you might can change kickers, Keith, but you don't change holder and you don't change snapper.
You're right.
And you don't change the blockers. Good snap. Coburn with the approach. It's low, and it's just off to the right. So Ryan Coburn with the straight-on approach hit it good and just off to the right in his first extra point attempt of his varsity career. Good effort. And he's really worked hard, Keith, on his kicking for the Deshler Tigers.
Yeah, he did a good job a minute ago kicking off, and he kicked that one good. It went to the outside, to the right, off to the right just a little bit, and we'll see who kicks off here. He may be fixing to kick off again.
I'll tell you something else about that young man. He can throw that baseball.
Is that right?
Yes, sir. And I'd like to see him working on that in the offseason, because he has got an arm, and he can really be a good pitcher for the Deshler Tigers in this upcoming season. Just only a junior for Ryan Coburn. 48-7. He was one of those guys, Keith, in T-ball. He was already knocking it way out there, before everybody else still batting it back to the pitcher trying to beat it out. He was waylaying the ball, All Deshler all night here from Howard Chapel Stadium after an opening possession fumble is DJ Box with a 61-yard scamper. DeAnthony Summerhill with a 23-yard scamper. The Dion Ballou show began after that. A punt return for a touchdown off the Central kick. Then Ballou on a 52-yard catch. Coleman Miller with a 13-yard touchdown catch. Jay Gardner with a 13-yard run. And then Will Miner just a few moments ago with a 19-yard touchdown run. And here comes the approach by Coburn. Low kick cut off at the 35-yard line. And maybe gone. Let's see if a Tiger can catch him. It's Burton. It's Dante Grant. It's Seth Daniels trying to chase down the Central receiver. And they catch him, I believe, at the 1-yard line. Great run by the Central up back. That's Ben Siegel, who just knocked down the kick, a line drive kick. And Dante Grant, Seth Daniels, and Burton gave chase. And I believe Daniels had the best angle, Keith, but Burton was gaining as well.
He did, and I believe Grant hauled him down, got him about the 5-yard line and pulled him down about the 1. Tim's right down there close. He might can tell us what yard line they actually spotted it on.
Looks like they're right on the 1.
Tim, they came racing right by you. It was a foot race, wasn't it?
It was a foot race just outside the 1-yard line. And I had my doubts there for a minute that Ryan was going to catch him. But like you say, he hauled him down.
Never quit. Live to play another down. That's what Coach Mothership always teaches the boys, and they didn't quit on that as they'll give to Siegel again. And let's see if he can squirt through for the touchdown. He's mighty close. No signal yet from the official. And they'll mark him just short. 2nd down and goal. So
6 inches away.
Man, he's got to be one tired young man after a 60-yard punt return or kickoff return and then turn around and give it right back to him out of the eye.
I think they're wanting to let him get the touchdown.
Yeah, he earned it.
Yeah.
9 minutes remaining in the game. Deshler 48, Central 7. Under center is Sloan Dickerson, and Central, a young team, folks. They'll be one to be reckoned with as Taylor Hayes, the sophomore, will take it in for the score. So a lot of young guys playing for the Wildcats and no give up in them at all. And quite an effort by Ben Siegel as he broke free, Keith, at midfield, and then there was 3 Tigers that pursued him. It was Dante Grant, Burton, and Seth Daniels with an angle, and I believe Grant is the one that finally got a hand on his shoulder pad.
Yeah, I believe he's the one that finally caught him, like I said, about the 5, I believe.
But Central does capitalize, and with 9 minutes remaining, it's Deshler 48, Wildcats 13. And the extra point is up and off to the right. And so we'll be back after this 30-second timeout. You're listening to Tiger Football on the Big Dog. Chase Blackburn on the night. Keith, 6 of 8 for 137 yards and a touchdown to Dion Ballou and also Coleman Miller. So Miller with a couple of catches tonight. Good to see the senior-to-senior combination going strong here in the 2nd game of the year.
Yeah, Chase did a good job. We got to work on our passing some. He was really on target tonight, like I said, but 6 of 8.
And one of those dropped, in the end zone, touchdown right there. So really it should be 3 touchdown passes for Blackburn.
DJ Box with 103 yards rushing.
A 61-yard touchdown run, and then a wow the crowd 37-yarder where he cut and dazzled in and out. Short end-over-end kick will be fielded by Miner at the 25-yard line, looking for running room. He's got it out to the 35, 38-yard line before he's brought down by the Wildcats. Hustling down there for Central is Javirus Carr, the junior. And at 8:47 remaining in the game, it's Deshler 48, Central 13. And same offense making its way onto the field. So real valuable playing time for the for the Deshler Tigers in this second half of this Region 8 ball game. And that's how you keep the program going strong.
Exactly right, Jimmy. You've got a lot of sophomores and a few juniors and even some 9th graders out there getting some valuable time.
They'll give to Miner over the right side, and Will Miner with quite a night of his own as he's inside Wildcat territory to the 48-yard line, so a gain of 14 for Will Miner, and that'll put him out.
Approaching 100 yards.
Yeah, it'll put him out to 90. 92 yards on the night. So 8 carries for 92 yards for Will Minor.
Jimmy, look out at Central. Like I said, don't mean to keep saying it, but you still see number 14, number 8, 23, 34. Those guys started the game. So Will Minor's not just picking these yards up against a second team or a B team.
1st and 10 Tigers inside Central Territory, 48-13. They'll give to Minor again over the left side. Nothing doing this time over left guard. Joseph Southern had his man kicked out, but another field to hole, and they'll stop Minor for about a 1-yard gain. So 2nd down and 9 for the Deshler Tigers. And Parker Wright, the junior quarterback, smooth back there running this offense, Key.
Yeah, so many times these guys have been running the wing tee or a quarterback like that. They practice that so much, I believe really they could do it with their eyes closed. I've watched them take their steps, and the coaches talk about how important it is on their steps. So he's doing a great job.
2nd down 9. They'll give to Minor over the right side. Will Minor busting free and dragging Wildcats with him near the 42-yard line, so give him 5 on the carry. It'll be 3rd down and about 3, and Will Minor nearing 100 yards rushing here in the second half of this football game.
Yeah, he told him let him rest one play right there. He just looked over and said, can I have one play to rest right here?
98 yards rushing for Will Minor. 3rd down, 4 to go. 6:38 remaining in the contest. Deshler 48, Central 13. On the road at Lawrence County next week. This time give to Dante Grant over the left side. He's got the Deshler Tiger 1st down at the 39-yard line of Central. And don't forget, let's talk about that Tiger tailgate party. Tickets will go on sale next week, but it's our big fundraiser of the year for the quarterback club, and we need everyone's support to buy the $10 ticket. Come up to all the festivities before what should be one more outstanding high school football game, Deshler versus Calvert County on September the 26th.
Yeah, don't want to look past the next few games, but you do kind of have that one circled. Of course, we circle that one every year, but, we've got it kind of circled this year as one of our next really big games.
Deshler at Lawrence County next week, Region 8 game, and then at home versus Rogers. Deshler a 35-7 win at Rogers last year. 5:56 remaining. Heat break here from Howard Chapel Stadium. We'll take time out as well. You're listening to Tiger Football on the Big Dog. Back after this 30-second timeout.
It's Deshler Tiger Football on Rock.
Rushing for the Deshler Tigers tonight, DJ Box, 3 carries for 103 yards with a 61-yard touchdown run. J.R. White, 2 carries for 10 yards. DeAnthony Summerhill, 2 for 21 yards and a touchdown. Gardner, 2 for 14 yards and a touchdown. Dante Grant, 3 for 12. And Will Minor with 9 carries for 97 yards. And the Tigers cough it up here at the 38-yard line on 1st and 10, and Central says they have it. I believe they'd given it off to Grant that time. And the Wildcats come up with a turnover. And so the Deshler defense will make its way onto the field, and some more changes for the Tigers. Watkins in there, along with Devon Hampton, Worley, Micah Crunk, Dante Grant, Gatewood, Kobe Spann, and Ced Daniels. But up front, we've got Hampton, Watkins, Taylor Posey, and we got to get a name on 79. He looks good in there at defensive tackle, I can tell you that, as they'll give around the right side, and big running room for the Central Wildcat tailback. That's Javirus Carr in there, the junior, and he'll take it for about 18 yards inside Tiger territory to the 43-yard line. 1st and 10, you got Rowell in there. And Bow, see if you can get a name for us.
Rodriguez Winston, number 79.
Rodriguez Winston. We're going to have to give him some pretty good grade tonight, Keith. He's down there hustling, getting us a name, and that's going to get him in with us pretty good.
Yeah. Spotter on the field.
First and 10. They'll pitch back to Carr once again, and boy, he runs hard, folks. And he'll have about 9 inside the 35 to the 34 before Rowell and Gatewood bring him down, along with Kobe Spann, the freshman. Second down 1. 4:36 remaining in the contest. 48-13. Deshler on top of Central as Grant Johnson, the junior, checks in at defensive tackle, and Devon Hampton will check out. Stephen Abel's in there at defensive end now for the Deshler Tigers. He's just a sophomore. They'll give it on that, as you said, that little Statue of Liberty made famous by
Johnny Unitas. I don't know.
No, last couple years ago. It was Bowling Green.
Yeah, I know who you're talking about. Idaho State.
Beat Oklahoma.
Yeah.
First and 10.
Ian Johnson.
Boise State. Ian Johnson. 28-yard line, the Wildcats of the Tigers, 48-13. 4 minutes remaining in the contest. Wildcats on the move out of the I formation. They'll give to Howell, first man through. He'll push the Tiger pile down near the 20-yard line on a penalty play. But Keith, talk to us about tomorrow. You've got Southern Miss visiting Auburn, I think 11:30 kickoff, if I'm not mistaken. And then tomorrow night, Tulane against the Tide.
Well, did you write down what I wrote, what I said last week?
You had it right.
Okay, well, I thought I said 34-10 or something, but maybe I said 34-17. But anyway, no, I think Auburn will come out next week. I mean, this week they'll work a lot on their pass, too. I think they'll pass the ball a lot better, move it up and down the field. I think last week they just ran it just to, because
Vanilla.
That's what they were doing. Yeah, that's best. As far as Alabama, I know Coach Saban, I've heard him preaching all week about just, keep staying focused on what they need to do and working on themselves and getting better. So I really don't expect to see them have too much trouble with Tulane. I would be surprised if they did.
But that's happened before to Alabama in recent history.
Yeah, it has. So hopefully we'll find out tomorrow.
I don't think there's too many Tide fans who are just totally relaxed.
No.
On first down after the penalty, they'll give to Howell on another penalty play. And he'll score, but it may come back. Let's wait on the call as Cronk and Gatewood both are hurt. And Tim Ballantyne says a block in the back, and that is indeed the call. Well officiated ball game. Much better than we thought last week's was.
No comment. Well, but I have to say, you did look at the film.
And we had some we deserved, but that one big
one that we were so upset about,
we were valid.
The personal foul or the roughing or whatever that would have given us the ball back at 6 minutes, we were justified in disagreeing with that one.
3:20 remaining in the contest, 48-13. Tigers on top next week on the road versus the Lawrence County Red Devils, then at home versus Rogers, and then the big midseason classic as the Indians come a-calling. They'll pitch back to Carr around the right side looking for some running room, and he's got it inside the 10-yard line, pushed out of bounds by a host of Tigers hustling out there. And that's what you like to see, Keith, is all 11 men around the football by the time he was pushed out of bounds along the south side of Howard Chapel Stadium. Second down, Randy Emmons says 6 yards to go at the 7.
Yeah, these young guys working hard, too, to keep Central out of the end zone because they don't want to give up any points if they can help it.
48-13 with 2.5 minutes to go. Under center is Dickerson. He'll give to Howell over the left side, and he'll plunge in for the score. Darian Howell. And he did get the better of Kobe Spann, but I guarantee you he stuck his head right in there, and he'll keep on sticking that head in there. One tough customer, the freshman Kobe Spann. But Howell takes it in from 7 yards out, and it's 48-19 Deshler over the Wildcats.
Nice run off tackle that time by Howell. He good blocking on that side, and he went in pretty much untouched until Kobe Spann hit him about the goal line.
Folks, stay tuned after the game for the William Gardner post-game show. Tim Ballantyne, our sideline man, will hustle down to the William Gardner plaque located in the west end of Howard Chapel Stadium. We'll get a few moments to visit with Coach John Mothershed after what has to be a pleasing win after the defeat last week at the hands of a very good Russellville Golden Tiger team.
Yeah, I think Coach will be happy. I think, like we said in the pregame, the biggest thing we felt like Deshler needed to do tonight was work on Deshler. Improve our offense, play the type of defense that we're used to playing. And I believe we came out real early and established that physically up front we could dominate them, and also speed-wise we had a big advantage in speed, and I think it showed early and often.
48-20, Tigers. This really been the year that the Deshler has been pointing to for a couple of years now. Of course, the just unprecedented run last year to the championship game.
Well, Jimmy, you never know. Sometimes you got to be careful what you wish for. And that game last week may end up, when we look back, if me and you are standing talking in Birmingham several weeks down the road, that may be the exact thing that the doctor ordered. Yeah, it may have woke them up to start the season. So we'll see how that works out.
The ball kicked down to the 10-yard line. Miner picks it up there, and he's weaving his way in and out of traffic, and finally brought down about the 22-yard line. So another good, tough return by freshman Will Miner, and big Alex Sharon trotting onto the field. And Keith, look, it reminds you of Seth Henson.
He does.
As he runs out on the field. Of course, Seth, an all-state performer for the Deshler Tigers, and what a mammoth he was out there along that offensive and defensive front. And Sharon has the ability to grow into that mold.
Yeah, he really does. He does favor him, and Seth really was an outstanding, especially on the defensive side of the ball, an outstanding defensive player. So hard to throw the ball over, and controlled one whole side of the line basically by himself.
1st and 10, they'll give to Grant around the right side, and he's hauled down at the 20-yard line with under 2 minutes to go in the ball game. Jimmy Gardner, along with Keith Coates and Tim Ballantyne, glad you've enjoyed this Friday night of high school football with us. Look for you next week on the air around 6:25 p.m. for Deshler versus Lawrence County in another Region 8 ball game. There's 7 of them this year, sandwiched around a 1st, 5th, and 10th game, Russellville, Calvert County, and then on the road at J.O. Johnson to finish out the season. Parker Wright under center, 2nd and 12. He's gone the distance in the second half, and Will Miner will go over 100 yards on the night in this second half on that carry, an 8-yard jaunt out to the 30-yard line. Give him 105 yards on the night, so he becomes the leading Deshler Tiger rusher on the evening, outdistancing DJ Box with 3 carries for 103 yards.
Jimmy, he's one handful of shirt away from adding, 65 yards to that, because he absolutely broke off tackle. Somebody got a handful of his shirt, and he was kicking his legs high, trying to pull away from that. He couldn't quite pull away, or he was absolutely the last man left to stop him. Nobody else would have caught him.
Joseph Southern, Trey Rowell, Seth Daniels, Stephen Abels, Micah Crunk, Alex Sharon, John Burton. That's your front for the Tigers.
Everybody moved but the center and quarterback. They didn't know the snap.
They're trying to draw Central off sides, I believe. 48-20.
If they don't snap them, they can't start the play, can they?
Third down, 7 to go on what could be the last play of the football game.
Doesn't look like they're going to snap it again.
I believe he started it with 26 seconds, and now Coach John Mothershed will say that will be the last play, and I think the official will let it run on out. It would probably have been a delay of game by about a second. But at this point in the game, let's let it run out, and a great win for the Deshler Tigers against a very tough Central Wildcat team at Howard Chapel Stadium. 48-20, Deshler on top. We'll be back with the William Gardner postgame show after this 60-second timeout. You're listening to Tiger Football on the Big Dog. Welcome back to Howard Chapel Stadium. 48-20, 38-20, the Deshler Tigers over the Central Wildcats. And Keith, some numbers for you. DJ Box, 103 yards and a touchdown. D. Anthony Summerhill, 21 yards and a touchdown. Jay Gardner, 14 yards and a touchdown. Will Miner, 107 yards in the second half on 10 carries. Dante Grant with 14 yards. 262 yards on the ground. Chase Blackburn, pinpoint passing. Should have really been 7 of 8 for 137 yards. He was 6 of 8 and 2 touchdowns. 399 total yards of offense for Deshler versus 147 last week.
Yeah, I think we said before the game that we got 147 last week, and normally we're used to seeing double, if not triple that. So, like we said, I believe we basically tripled that this week, and I believe that's a lot more of what Coach Mothershed was looking for right there on the offensive side of the ball.
And we'll be visiting with Coach John Mothershed in just a few moments. But next week, more of the same, we hope, versus Lawrence County, however, on the road.
Yeah, it's always tougher. You know, it's just anytime you take younger kids, as he's mentioned, 15, 16, 17-year-olds, you put them on a bus, you take them somewhere, put them in a different environment. It's always a little different. So that'll make it a little different. But that's part of the process that you got to go through. But you got to learn to travel, because if we do get deep into the playoffs, there's going to be a week that we have to put everybody on the bus and travel, and we're going to have to learn to eat, you know, away from home and do all that stuff. So that's just all part of the process. And like we was talking about, one good thing about, you know, our game last week and the loss is you can come back and win, and it's all settled on the field here, you know, when you get to in the high school level in the state playoffs.
And Coach John Mothershed now joining us in the William Gardner post-game show. And Coach, back on the winning track here in this Region 8 opener.
Yeah, I tell you, Central, you know, Central's got a young team this year, and, you know, a young coach that's making his way. And Brent Palmer's a class act, and he's going to do a great job at Central out there. I was proud of our kids. We came out, and, you know, it's been a while since I've seen that frenzy, but we definitely saw the frenzy in the first quarter. Offense, defense, special teams, the whole thing. So, no, it was fun to watch them play, and it was a lot of fun to watch those B-teamers play in the second half.
Boy, you elected to go with the second team the whole second half. We wondered if you might come out with one series for your starters. Talk about what goes into that kind of decision making.
Well, you know, they were going to get the ball first. Now, we did go first defense right off the bat, and, you know, in a series like that, you want your B-team players to get some experience. And, you know, before the year's over, who knows who we're going to have to use in that situation. So we let Will Miner get a lot of snaps back there at fullback, and also letting Dante Grant at tailback. And then, you know, Parker Wright hadn't run a lot of quarterback because he's been running split end. So we were able to let him run a whole half at quarterback, which, you know, in the future, you know, that may be something we've got to have.
We harken back to that Boaz game last year in overtime where he had to come up big.
Right, and I was very proud of the B-team offense. I thought they went in and executed well. I thought Will Miner, you know, for a freshman, Will Miner's going to be a force to be reckoned with in the future. And no, I was proud of our whole team effort, and especially with the way, you know, this week, this has not been a fun week. It's been one of them weeks where we wanted to really establish ourselves, and I believe we did.
Well, Coach, the stadium looked great, the field looked good, and we had a good crowd on hand for this Region 8 opener.
We sure did. And, Jimmy, I want to throw a thanks out there to the quarterback club. I tell you, they've helped me this week, and we're not just this week, but every week, but especially this week, getting everything prepared for this game tonight. And a lot of people, you know, using their time and their energy to really help us. And Deshler's a special place. Deshler football is a special event in Tuscumbia.
Well, good luck next week on the road versus Lawrence County.
Thank you, Jimmy.
Coach John Mothershed, and Tim, I believe a much happier John Mothershed than we saw walking off at Russellville last Friday night.